So I thought it'd be a really good idea to recreate the pancake family, Bob, Eliza, and Iggy Pancakes from The Sims 4 in The Sims 2, but I thought it'd be really fun to actually recreate their house from The Sims 4 into The Sims 2, and that is what we're doing today. Now, I took it upon myself to recreate their family in The Sims 2 yesterday, so if you didn't see that video, I will link it down below in the description, but ultimately, you just can't have the pancake household without their house. And surprisingly enough, their house in The Sims 4 is so simple and so boxy that it was very easy to replicate in The Sims 2. Now, personally, The Sims 2 and The Sims 4 are completely different games by many years, and the building capabilities are very different with like different, terrains and stairs and color wheel and all these different things that we don't have in each game that kind of make them different in good and bad ways, I find. But personally, their house is so simple to replicate because it's a legit box, and I find that their rooms aren't really that big. But what I found very surprising is that over the years of playing The Sims 4, Eliza Pancakes is probably the most dramatic sim I've ever met in my entire life, besides Judah's Award. I mean, Eliza Pancakes is a suburban version of Judah's Award, I find, because Eliza has a mansion baron aspiration, materialistic. I think she's also a neat freak and also some other trait too that I can't remember from The Sims 4. And it's kind of funny that they're kind of similar in a way. And I've always felt that Bob deserved better, but I also felt like he needed a new way of living and a new way of life to kind of really express himself the way he wants to express himself through food. And in The Sims 2, I thought it'd be really fun to recreate their house and give it a little bit of pizzazz, a little je ne sais quoi, with a more of an upbeat look because, like I said, The Sims 2 and 4 are completely different games, so we don't really have a lot of things that I could really do. So I tried my best to make it, similar from the newer version with the older version, and kind of added a few extra steps and a few extra things that will make it a little bit more nicer, I find. And now if you want the house and the Sims, I will link them down below in the description to the download link. And I realized yesterday, because I got a bunch of like tweets and DMs on Twitter the other day about my link not working. So if you watched that video from yesterday, the link is now updated in that description, but also in this description as well. I did something wacky and try to separate the household from the house, but I realized that's not ideal for me and I don't want to wreck anybody's game, so I made it easier and re-exported the family so you can have their house and the sim all into one file. When you download it, install it, and it'll all be there for you. But I don't know, let me know down in the comments below, what do you love most about The Sims 2? If you've played The Sims 2, tell me some stories, some crazy dramatic stories that you love about this game, because I have a lot of stories to tell about this game. Let me tell you, I got 10,000 tons. But I'm just like so freaking happy because I've been really enjoying doing like this random series of recreating old houses or new houses in older games and seeing how I can make them better, but also doing a series where I'm giving a life that they do but also don't deserve. Because recently I did a video where I gave Judith's Ward the life she didn't ask for, and I kind of want to do it with the Pancake family next, where I give Eliza that life that she wants, but also give Bob Pancakes the life that he wants with his kid Iggy. Because I felt like if Bob and Eliza were going through a custody battle, Bob would get the kid and Eliza wouldn't, because I felt like Eliza really wouldn't want to be a mother in a way, but then again, I have no idea. But to me, I've always seen Bob as a family man who loves kids, who loves, exploration, loves excitement, loves trying new things every single day. And I think that it'd be really cool to do that in The Sims 4 and dabble that into that a bit. But enough about The Sims 4. The Sims 2 is what we're here for today. But I am not joking. I build in The Sims 2 like almost every single day. Like the past couple of my videos have been Sims 2 related, and I want to do more. So if you have any ideas for Sims 2 builds, let me know in the comments below. That way I can, gather your ideas and make them into reality. Because I've been thinking about making Bob, Sims 2 Bob, a little restaurant that he can call his own, that he owns in this like playthrough, and try my best to make a starter restaurant, like a food truck on wheels business, and then later on in life he upgrades, renovates it a little bit, and make it a full-fledged, stable, on-the-ground restaurant. And I've never really got to play through restaurants in The Sims 4 because they're so glitchy, but also the other thing, I just haven't really played through all of them that I want to through a 5-star. And Sims 2 is like kind of like an easy route for me to go down that route before I go into the other versions of The Sims to play like the restaurants. And but yeah, I want to give Bob Pancakes the restaurant of his dreams. So the next couple of videos you might see sporadic throughout the weeks. Of course, you'll probably see some Sims 2 builds, some Sims 2 gameplay, some Sims 4 stuff. Because I'm not joking, I think I'm in this zone right now of like, I finally know what I want to do and how I'm going to do it because I have all these ideas. And plus, you all have given me all these ideas in these past recent community posts I've been making on YouTube and giving me ideas for videos, which are very helpful. And I have all those too. And I'm just like, I have all this content, I just have to make it. And so I am pleased to say that I'm finally starting a series that I want to do called Rags to Riches in The Sims 2. It's like a mini series basically. And I love being poor in The Sims. Being poor is like my new lifestyle, you know what I mean? Like The Sims being poor and struggling is actually quite therapeutic to me, and I don't know why. I think I live for the struggle and earning money from non-traditional stuff like a job and earning money every like single day. Because I think in The Sims 2, you can actually earn, when you get a job, it's like per hour instead of per week, which I find much easier, but then sometimes the pay is not always great half of the time. Um, Actually, wait, no. I think it's per day. I don't remember. Either way, you get money out of it, which is wonderful, and I love it. And I have to say that probably when I play with the Pancakes family somewhere down in the future, because I place their house and their household in the center of Pleasant View, which is probably the most dramatic world in the Sims 2 franchise that's in base game. And I live for the drama. I love dramatic gameplay. And this is actually going to give me another way to kind of liven up Pleasant View again, because the neighborhood is slowly dying because all the OGs like Mary Sue and then Daniel Pleasant, and then Don Lothario, and like some other OGs. Morton Regas was the first one to go. But the other OGs are starting to become elders or starting to die very soon. And I need to make new Sims, new houses, new everything to kind of liven it up a little bit better. Plus, we don't want to have incense in here into the family tree because I swear everyone in Pleasant View is related. I'm not kidding. Either by one single Sim from some other relation, they're somehow related. So I'm making all these Sims so that doesn't happen because we don't have time for that today, not ever. So the Pancake family will be in there. I'm thinking of actually recreating probably some of the lesser known NPC townies from The Sims 4 and The Sims 2 that could add some random gameplay. Or I could recreate, no, I shouldn't. Because, they're already dead in the game. Because Nancy and Jeffrey Landgrab, you have Malcolm Landgrab, so his parents are already dead. So I find like it's not necessary to do that. But it would serve some drama if I added in Johnny Zest from The Sims 4 and The Sims 2. Because not only in The Sims 4 is an alternate timeline, as we all know, and I find that with Johnny Zest, if you don't know this, he is technically a land grab, but he's been disowned by his family. And it's kind of funny that he is, and so I kind of want to give him the life that he deserves, or give him the life that he wants, basically, because he came from riches and he went back to rags after being disowned for his career choice that he wanted to live. And, his parents didn't like that. Probably more so Nancy didn't like his career choice, and that's totally fine, but not really fine. Like, who disowns their child? That's baffling. But I think that ultimately at the end of the day, I'm trying to give these Sims what they need, but also what they want at the end of the day. But nevertheless, back to the build. I am not kidding when I built this on stream. So if you want to watch the stream that I did, I'll link it down below as well. But I'm not joking. Building in The Sims 2 and trying to replicate a Sims 4 build is so hard because in The Sims 4, there's like auto snapping to objects. No matter where you place it, it'll snap to the table or snap to whatever. Where in The Sims 2, it has to be placed a certain way and the chairs won't snap to like the table, or your Sims won't be able to use it properly. Like, they'll be able to sit in it, of course, but they won't be able to use the table, if that makes any sense. Like say, for example, this table is not centered to my liking whatsoever. And if I moved it over a smidge, the chairs won't align well to the table where they push it out, push it in, put their stuff on the table, and start eating. So it's a little bit hard, but I gotta make do what I have and I'm gonna go with it. I definitely kind of improvised a lot with everything, and kind of looking at the screenshots from The Sims 4 and trying to do it in The Sims 2 was actually pretty okay, especially with like the dining room right now that I'm doing, because the dining room was actually probably the most emptiest in the original house, because I realized there's a chair in both corners, or I guess a chair in one corner of the room, and there's like something else in the other corner. And so I felt that, since they have Iggy into the household, and, they had to kind of readjust things. And so I wanted to kind of squeeze in some childhood furniture, like a high chair, also like some pet related things in here too, just to kind of give it some pizzazz and excitement. And not only is that Iggy is a kid in the original Sims 4 game, in every new save file, they don't have a kid. And if you don't remember, in 2017, they did an update for like a Sims anniversary update so long ago, and they added in Iggy Pancakes, and that's where he came from, but you can get them on the gallery, on the Sims 4 gallery. But I felt like they just needed a kid, not in their life, because that was baffling crazy, but also that I just felt like if they were having a kid, they need to like kind of have that room and that space for that kid to grow and thrive and do what they need to do. So I added in, like in The Sims 2, like what I love is that there's literally a lemonade stand, and so when Iggy ages up into a kid, he can make like his own lemonade and sell it for money, and I think that's like really cool. But what's really fun about this is that I have a mod in my game where my Sims can do online banking and have like their own like bank account or whatever. Especially kids can have their own bank account. And I think it'd be a really cool idea to do like a small little like mini playthrough of whatever I want to do, and kind of update you all on what's been going on, especially in Pleasant View, just because every time that it becomes summer, all the kids and teens go on summer vacation. And I think it'd be really fun to give Iggy a chance to kind of grow and thrive as a kid, earn some money, and then set up like a small little banking account for him as he, grows up and earns money from his part-time job as a teen or whatever it might be. I don't know. I'm just so excited about The Sims. Like every time I open up this game, I get so excited because I have so many opportunities that I can like do that I've never thought of doing in the other games, but I can do it in this game. I'm like so excited. Anyway, I definitely, like I said, I improvised a lot with this house, especially the kitchen. And there's actually a dedicated kitchen and bath stuff pack in The Sims 2 that I love using. And I use it for their kitchen, because I felt Bob, he's a chef. He loves cooking. Might as well give him what he needs, of course. But I definitely wanted to add in like a newly updated thing, because I find that in the Sims 4 version of their house that it's like too simple. And I felt like since they had a kid, a few years have happened, a few months or so, they earned some money, they had a few other things coming through, and they kind of renovated their kitchen, updated their house a little bit to kind of fit with the times that they are now newly found parents. So it just made perfect sense, But I definitely wanted to kind of add in Bob's personality, but also still keep the original like aesthetic of Eliza's personality into the mix, because I always felt that Eliza took over the entire house design and made it her own. And it just makes perfect sense. Oh no, now I remember. Eliza's a materialistic perfectionist, neat person. I think those are her traits in The Sims 4, but I tried my best to kind of make it best in The Sims 2. So I think I made one of her turn-offs. Her turn-offs was unemployed, I think, and her turns-ons were hard worker and neat Sims. And Bob is none of those things whatsoever, which I find hilarious. So it kind of makes sense that their house is the way it is, because Bob always felt so sad and alone, and he's a loner and a slob and doesn't really have a lot going for himself, I find. And I wanted to kind of give him a sense of purpose, because at some point in my playthrough of the Pancakes in Pleasant View, what I'm going to do is going to get them divorced somehow and have Eliza move, or she shares custody, or whatever it might be. I don't really know just yet for my playthrough, but it'll happen very, very soon, and I'm very excited. But nevertheless, I am pleased with this home. I did definitely want to make it very simple in a way, because I knew if I added in way too much stuff, it would look nothing like the house whatsoever. And of course, none of it looks like the house on the inside, because the game is so dang old. It's like almost like this game came in 2004, and we got The Sims 4 in 2014. So like a 10-year difference of like the base game of each Sims, franchise game. So it's so weird that there's like a decade difference between the two. And I always felt like Sims 2 was ahead of its time with like the zodiac signs and the memory system and the whole interactivities and the autonomy of it all is way ahead of its time. Like, I am blown away at the sheer talent and the sheer creativity in this entire thing. Like, honestly, I love every single Sims game, but like Sims 2 is like where I felt like I understood more of the game than anything because I was one old enough. Well, actually, no, I actually wasn't old enough. I was like, because I was 4 where I was technically 3 years old when The Sims 1 came out, but I was 4 when I started playing. And then The Sims 2 came out and it was like 8 years old. So I was like, in the mid-range of like not being able to play this game, but I played it either way. But this game was scandalous. It was raunchy. It was crazy. It was crazy good for like its wildness that it had. The cutscenes alone made any child get grounded in their own home because oh my gosh, it's baffling funny. Especially like, some of them is funny, but I still think it's like really cool. And I just realized I didn't add in a changing table. Well, if you ever have The Sims 2, you can add in a changing table if you want to, of course, but I definitely forgot to add in a changing table, which is not the end of the world because personally, if they poop their pants, you can go give them a nice little bath in the bathtub and be good and call it a day, or you can potty train them. You got 2 options there. So do you really need a changing table? Not really. But regardless of it all, I think that at the end of the day, Eliza has the biggest bedroom in this house. You could literally fit like 2 extra beds in here. Like you split it down the middle and you have an extra bedroom, which ultimately at the end of the day, I just might do. At some point in this playthrough of my own, I might actually split this entire like Eliza's bedroom in half, where one bedroom could be Iggy's bedroom and then the other side can be Eliza's bedroom or something like that, or whenever she moves out. I really don't know. But like that's actually kind of a good idea. Like when you really think about it, the Sims 4 version, split it down in the middle. You can make 2 separate bedrooms. Then you'll have like a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home. But this one's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom home. And technically, like Bob doesn't have his own bathroom. It's more of like a hallway bathroom, access to like literally anyone in the home. But then also Eliza has her own bathroom, like her own private suite. It's like a hotel for her, which is not ideal. And it's not okay. Now, the one thing I did not do for like the Pancake family, like creating them and everything, is that I didn't give them jobs just because I felt like I just didn't want to. But you can do that yourself if you want to. Of course, I'm going to do it when I play with them at some point down the line in the future and give them the proper skills and the careers and the levels and the money so they can kind of all be somewhat similar. Because they're not starting out being broke. We don't got time like that. Brandy Broke has done enough in this household, enough in this neighborhood for all of us. So, it is what it is. You got to work with what you have. And honestly, I worked with what I have. And I'm surprised that I kind of took this and made it happen. Because I realized that the bathroom, this bathroom right here, Bob's bathroom, is a little bit bigger than the original house in The Sims 4, but I was like, it's whatever. It's Sims 2. What you got to do, what you got to do. You got to make it work and go with the flow. But building a Sims 2 house in The Sims 4, I don't know. But anyway, I think it'd be really fun to show you all the actual house in real time so you can see what is all it has to entail. As you can see, the house is now completed, and I have to say I am really deeply in love with the pancake house in The Sims 2, especially how simple it is, but also kind of how I added in my own spin to it, especially on the interior of the home. Now what's different is that we have security alarms, so whenever your Sims get robbed, the Popo will come over, may or may not arrest the burglar, and you might earn some money or you'll get scolded by the police. You never really know where you're gonna get, but at least we have one. And we also do have a house phone for a wall, which is really great to call your friends, throw some parties, order some Chinese or some pizza that's like $40, which is ridiculous, overly priced in this game, but we still love it. But however, like I said, I try to really add my own spin to it because it was very hard to replicate the Sims 4 house and the Sims 2. So I also wanted to make sure I had enough space for a lot of improvement and upgrades over time, especially when Iggy ages up into a child and a teenager. But of course, adding in Eliza's personality, like a bar and some chairs in each corner and a bunch of plants. But the only thing that's different is the kitchen, and it's more of a Bob's personality because he loves cooking, he's a chef, he loves eating, and so I wanted to give him his own private oasis that kind of made him happy, especially like when he's like in the zone with like, you know, culinary and cuisines and teaching other Sims about the food industry and how to kind of get into it and everything. I also decided to add in a pet bowl because I thought they would get a pet one of these days down the line. And of course, adding in another wall phone because this house was made for the early 2000s, of course. You had house phones everywhere in your home. The kitchen, the bathroom, the living room, in your bedroom, everywhere. I'm not joking. You had one in each room for ample amount of, you know, connectivity. I'm not joking, it's wild. Early 2000s fashion, we just don't speak about it. We just let it exist and we just don't bring it up again. You know what I mean? But I also wanted to add in like a hallway like office because I felt like they didn't have one in the original house. So in like this small little crease right here from the living room to the kitchen and to the backyard, I wanted to give them a little office here for, you know, reading or writing books or whatever it might be. And especially all the little fishies as well, which I think is really, really cute that they can restock and things like that. And then I added in Iggy's little play area over here, and then the living room over here with the fireplace and the TV. And I kind of felt that Eliza would, you know, maybe do piano. So I added in a piano over here as well, an upright piano to be exact. But as for the upstairs, this is where I got fancy with it because not only is Iggy into the picture, Bob also needed some room for himself. So it's kind of funny when you think about it. If you put this bedroom side by side with the Sims 4 bedroom, it's kind of similar, but this one's more lively and more light and more, you know, good to look at, I find. But the bed is pretty much the exact same one from the Sims 2 from the Sims 4. But I added in a crib over here because Iggy's here and he needs a crib to sleep because we don't have any toddler beds. But I also added in a computer, desk, and chair because they had one in the original house in The Sims 4, so we just needed one in The Sims 2, especially because Bob needs his own space to do his own things, and Eliza shall not touch his computer if her life depends on it, I find. But I also couldn't remember if Bob had a woodworking table outside or not, but I felt like he needed one, so I added in like this toy maker machine station over here for his balcony and a chess table. And then for Eliza's room, I definitely went full out with the full-on pink and sewing machine and even her weirdly oddly shaped diagonal dresser drawer, which I find so confusing. And it makes me want to scream so much because why is it at a diagonal? Why can't it be straight or something? Because it just seems so weird. Like the space does not work for me whatsoever, but I did what I had to do. And of course we have, you know, the confession chairs with the lamp and also her mirror and then her private bathroom and then an easel and of course a nice little bench for them to sit at outside to touch some grass, breathe in the fresh air, maybe even go heckle at a sim. Who really knows? We'll have to see until it actually happens, but we have this nice little bench over here. Now for the backyard, I find that I could have made it a little bit bigger because the one in The Sims 4 is bigger than this. But you gotta work with what you have, and so I only added in a grill and some chairs. I could have added in like some other toddler related things back here, but I just felt it wasn't needed. And I've also could have added in a smaller telescope up here as well. But that will come later at a later date. But ultimately at the end of the day, this is their house, this is what it is, and I'm pretty happy with it. But either way, as always, I do hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments below, as always, of what do you thought of this house? Have you downloaded it yet? Do you love the Pancake family? Do you think they should get divorced? Let me know all your thoughts and opinions. But either way, as always, I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!